For this assignment, we're going to be critiquing Prodigy. Prodigy is a math game that the students in my school are absolutely in love with. It is a self-paced online learning program. You can also get the app if you're interested. But according to Learn Math for Free, Prodigy has content from all the major topics and will seamlessly cover grades 1 through 8 to help ensure that students are ready for standardized testing. Essentially, the program is testing without formally testing. After the student signs in for the first time, they should come across a screen that looks like this. And the first thing that we can see is that the signaling principle is in effect, which states that people learn better when they're accused to highlight the information that they need to know. And in this case, it's going to allow the students to create an avatar, which is a very important step because according to Carl Kapp, when avatars look like the players, the likelihood of meaningful change increases. Therefore, the learner feels vested into the program before it starts. After the students have created their self-customized avatar, they are immediately thrown into the storyline of the game. In this role-playing game, the storyline leads the learner on a quest, and along the way students will collect trinkets and equipment and also fight battles in order to increase their play level. While the storyline is being developed, there is a character named Newt who teaches you as the beginner the skills that you need to move around the board and also how to battle different enemies. Unfortunately though, I cannot display his voice in this critique, because once you get past the introduction, his role greatly diminishes. However, even though he was a cartoon, he gave directions verbally, which met Richard Mayer's personalization principle by people learn better when words are spoken in standard accented human voices rather than machine voice. Every time you enter a battle with a foe, you will need to attack. So in this wizard battle, you can see that the first thing they have to do is decide how I want to attack. And again, we can see the signaling or the queuing principle in effect because only some of them are highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead and click the Starbit Blast here. Now if I get this answer correct, it'll allow me to cast a spell towards my opponent and subtract points for them. But if I am incorrect, then I will just lose my point. During the math question, the student is giving support during the program. By looking in the upper left-hand corner, you can see the speaker icon, and if I press that button, it'll be read to me. Furthermore, the key concept being addressed has a light bulb, and if I were to click on that, it'll give me an example or some sort of information that will help me to answer the question. So I'm going to go ahead and answer this question and put in 4, and we'll see that once I hit the answer here, I'm going to be rewarded with corrective feedback. As you saw in the last math problem, I had corrective feedback, but even though the program offers to help the learner, it does not explain any explanatory feedback, which is important especially for novice learners. This is one area where the program Prodigy could really improve in, especially since young players really enjoy playing the game. Explanatory feedback guides the learner in selecting the appropriate information and consequently reduces the amount of extraneous processes relative to that which occurs when only corrective feedback is provided, according to Johnson and Priest, thus allowing the learner to actively process the feedback that was given. So just to go ahead and demonstrate that here, I'm just going to type in the wrong answer. Let's put 2, and we'll see what happens on the screen here. The only thing it just tells me is that I was wrong, and if I want to see the correct answer, I can go ahead and push see the answer. So here's another question. As you can see, I got the last one wrong, and they're going to keep asking me the same one. And this can be very frustrating to a student who has missed the directions or didn't quite understand the concept or what is being asked of them. This would increase the frustration that in turn would cause an increase in the amount of extraneous processing. And according to the triarchy theory of cognitive load put forth by Meyer and Moreno, the aim is to reduce the extraneous cognitive process, manage essential cognitive processing, and then foster generative processing. So you can see all this is really going to do is just overload the student who doesn't know what they're doing and not allow them to progress. So here we have a different problem, and this time if we look on the right hand side, we can see that there are colored pencils, and I can select one of these and I can start doing math problems over here on the side, although it does seem easier if I just could use paper and pencil. But if I look up in the upper right hand corner, you see I can click this and there are different manipulatives that I can use. So I'm going to click the base blocks just so we can see what they look like, and I'm going to pull them onto the screen. And you can see that this can really help someone who's having difficulty with some math. So at times the program does do a nice job of the multimedia principle, which states that people learn better from words and pictures than words just alone, according to Meyer. And these interactive images allow the students to manipulate those elements. So, moreover, in the dual coding theory, it is noted that these nonverbal representations could help or possibly help to trigger spreading activation, which is when a single word or image can awaken to multiple other words and images. So hopefully using these different manipulatives here can help the students understand and start connecting images and words in their brain through referential connections. All right, I hope you enjoyed this critique of Prodigy. Have a great day.